What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. Today we're going to talk about another team that should be very interesting at the trade deadline and will have a lot of control at what potentially happens, as this team has some pieces they can sell off that I think a lot of teams would be interested in. Of course, Wizards, similar to like the Blazers and some of these other rebuilding teams like the Raptors, for instance, who had guys they want to sell off. I think the Wizards are in that ballpark as well. Obviously, the Blazers have like Brogdon and Jeremy Grant, Matisse Thybulle, but the Wizards in their own right have like Kuzma, Tyus Jones, and I think Tyus Jones was 100% probably going to be moved, but there is a lot of interesting players the Wizards could move at the deadline if they so choose to do so, which is why I think the Wizards are a very interesting team to watch at the deadline. And today we're going to go ahead and do what I would do if I was a Wizards GM at the trade deadline. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated. We are on the road to 50,000 subs at the moment, and your subscription would be greatly appreciated. Help us reach that goal. And of course, we're talking everything trade deadline. We've been talking about a bunch of teams and what they're going to do at the deadline. Been doing the rebuilds on the trades that have been happening. Trade deadline is literally next Thursday, so it's coming very, very close. Of course, we will be live on that day as well, and we'll be doing all the rebuilds on the trades that are happening up until that point, and even after that point. So, like I said, there's a few guys here I feel like the Wizards could go ahead and send off to other teams. They obviously have already made a trade this year as well, getting a couple of second-round picks, which I'm going to imagine 2K has not given those second-round picks to them just because 2K has been updating the players, but not the draft picks in their start today, which is really annoying, but whatever. So Kuzma is someone that I could see personally being moved. He's been pretty decent with the Wizards, and I think some contending teams would line up for him. So he's someone that's interesting. I think like Kuzma and Jeremy Grant are two guys to watch at the deadline. Although at the same magnitude, I could also just see a world where the two teams decide to just keep him because they're locked up for like 4 to 5 years. So Tyus Jones, only on a 1-year deal though. I think there's gonna be a lot of teams bidding for him. He doesn't make a lot of money in the world, obviously. The CBA is obviously, going to be punishing soon. But $14 million is really nice in this new CBA. Obviously, he'll have to be paid after the season, but he's still someone I think a lot of teams would love to have. A really good player, of course. Jordan Poole, on the other hand, not really someone I see being moved, of course, at the deadline. And the Wizards also just obviously fired, or not fired, but they moved Wes Unseld to the front office. Then you have Dia, probably not moving him. Gafford is someone who's interesting. I think there would be some teams that would be interested in him. And the Wizards could move him in theory. Bagley has got Corey Kispert's another guy, and then you have like maybe like DeLon Wright you could maybe get like a second-round pick for if you wanted to. So definitely some interesting guys here. So what we're gonna go ahead and do is we're just going to simply simulate to the trade deadline. And I'm curious, does 2K have that up? Yeah, Brian Keefe is the head coach. Okay, awesome. So we're gonna go ahead and simulate to the trade deadline, and we're most definitely trading Tyus Jones. That's 100% what we're doing. And then we'll see if we can figure out something for Kyle Kuzma as well. But we also could just keep him. So we'll just kind of feel it out, see what we're doing at the deadline once we reach that. Once you cross that bridge. Today's video is brought to you by Prize Picks. Prize Picks is a player props app that's available on mobile or desktop. The way Prize Picks works is, of course, you choose between 2 to 6 players, 2 players being 3 times your entry, all the way up to 6 players being 25 times your entry. Not only do they have NBA, they have like NFL, NHL, they have League of Legends on here. There's just all kinds of stuff to choose from here on Prize Picks. And you literally are just looking at the projections they give you, all the stats that they offer as well, and you click more or less on projection. It's that simple. Gives you an extra sweat while you watch basketball or whatever sport you like to watch. Even if you're out there watching esports, you could place bets on Call of Duty and watch it if you want to. But James Harden, over 4.5 rebounds, for instance. If you think Wembanyama is going over 13.5 rebounds and assists, you click more on the projection, or you can click under, whichever you choose to do. If you want to sign for Prize Picks, use code Crushables to match first deposit dollar for dollar up to $100. And the way I use Prize Picks is I use DJF's optimizer and correlation tool. Basically, what the optimizer does, it compares discrepancies across multiple sports books. For instance, Donovan Mitchell on the board right now, under 11.5. Some books, or I guess one book has it at 10.5 on FanDuel. Another one is Anthony Edwards, where FanDuel is off again. So yeah, you can go ahead and take the under on that and the under on that. And another tool I love on DGF is their correlation tool. Absolutely love this tool. Yesterday, it produced a hockey slip that actually cashed for 20 times on the app Dabble. Which I've told you guys about Dabble in the past. You want to sign up for Dabble. Also use code Crushables on that. It's a really cool app, really unique app. But basically how it works is it basically gives you a slip and you put it in, you place it, you forget about it, and you just watch what happens. So basically Brock Purdy's thrown over two touchdowns, and more than likely Deebo Samuel and Brandon Ayuk are cashing a lot of yards because they're moving the ball to get to the end zone, right? And then Mahomes, same thing. If he's throwing for a lot of yards, then more than likely Watson and MVS are catching over 16 yards and 19 yards. So you want to check out any of these tools out, link is down in the description below. Prize Picks is down in the description below. Also, I am going to be live on DGF's channel 5 times a week around 5 o'clock Central Time. So if you want to see me use the tool live, I will be live over there, like I said, for like an hour at 5 p.m., 5 days a week. But other than that, let's get back to the rebuild. So as I promised, we're going to go ahead and simply start off here with Tyus Jones. I think you could easily get an unprotected first-round pick for Tyus Jones. I truly do. So let's go ahead and see what the offers are on the table, and we'll see if we like anything that's offered to us. So Fournier in a first-round pick. That is a top 3 protected 2026. I don't hate it. I don't hate it. I don't absolutely hate it, but I prefer a better pick. But actually, that we could definitely bank on the Knicks. Maybe regressing in 2026 if we truly wanted to. So we might come back to that. We also have a 2028 unprotected Dallas pick. Don't hate that as well. Dorian Finney-Smith. As long as we're getting an unprotected first-round pick, I definitely think you have to like the value you're getting, value that you're getting. So I think we're probably gonna go ahead and pick between one of those two trades. We want to do a Dallas. I think we do it with the Knicks, because the Knicks have been interested in Malcolm Brogdon. I could easily see them pivoting to like Tyus Jones. We take on Evan Fournier's expiring salary. I'm gonna try not to trade a second-round pick in this instance, though. They want Anthony Gill. They'll give me 2 first-round picks. That's actually pretty insane. I don't know if Tyus Jones is worth 2 first-round picks on an expiring deal. I think that's a little expensive. I wouldn't mind taking it, but if in my realistic self, just my brain is telling me that is not literally the value you'd get. I'll offer the Suns second-round pick, and let's see what they say. Anthony Gill. They still want to give me a first-round pick. Just take Anthony Gill then. I don't need another first. I think that's a little unrealistic. So we got a first-round pick in 2026, top 3 protected for Tyus Jones. Feel pretty good about that. All I wanted to do was accomplish a first-round pick for Tyus Jones. So we feel great about that. And now we can go ahead and move on to the next person. So is there anybody else I want to trade here? I'm actually interested in potentially moving Gafford as well. Now, the problem with Gafford is he's actually under team control for 3 years, 25 years old, really good contract. And with that all being said, really good backup 5 as well. I do think you can get a first-round pick for him as well. So let's see if we can get a first-round pick for him. If not, I'm cool with just holding on to him because we have him for 3 years. We don't have to force him out the door. So Larry Nance Jr. in a first-round pick. What pick is that? If that's a Bucks pick, I immediately become interested. It's a New Orleans pick. Okay. I'm not as interested in the New Orleans pick. I'm gonna be honest with you. If that was a Bucks pick, I would have been way more interested. But we'll go ahead and keep searching. So Kevon Looney, Chris Paul. Don't really want Chris Paul. Of course, Chris Paul was on the Wizards for like a little bit. But I don't really see anything other than getting Larry Nance in that first. I think we might just hang on to Daniel Gafford. The next guy I want to look at, of course, is Kyle Kuzma. If I'm the Wizards, I'm looking for at least 2 firsts if possible. So we're gonna see if we can get some team to bite on 2 first-round picks. Teams like the Sacramento Kings make sense, in my opinion, for like a Kyle Kuzma. But we'll see what is offered to us. We got the Knicks with Mitchell Robinson and Tyus Jones, which obviously just traded Tyus Jones. Schroeder, Fred VanVleet. So far, not liking what I'm being offered. So maybe we're not going to do anything. Maybe we're just going to sit and chill. It does make it interesting to maybe get Miles Bridges here. We could re-sign him. He's 25 years old. But I think I'll stay away from that. I would have preferred to. I'm going to see if I can cook up a trade with the Sacramento Kings because in my personal opinion, they make the most sense for Kuzma. So let's see if we can make something with the Kings. And if we can't, we're going to go ahead and just move on and keep them. So we're going to need $4 more million in this trade. If we could convince them to give us Davion Mitchell as well, I definitely think this would be worth our time. And then we'll give them Isaiah Livers, which I'm fine with. And then you can give me, I guess, a 2020 or 2027 and a 2028, something like that. Obviously, this could be 2029 instead. But 2 unprotected picks for Kuzma with Davion Mitchell. If the Kings want to accept this, I'm more than down to do this. Let's see what they say. They want Deni Avdija. I'd have a hard time trading Deni Avdija in this trade. Let's see if we can get maybe 2 seconds in here to change the tide a little bit. They say no. I'll go 3 seconds, and we might have to just settle on 1 first. If we get like Davion Mitchell in a 2028 first, I'm gonna wait. I think I would have been fine with potentially doing that trade. Oh, DeLon Wright was another one I wanted to move. So we're gonna move DeLon Wright for a second, probably. He's on an expiring contract as well. Might as well get rid of him while we can. So Terrence Mann in a second. If that was somebody else, I probably would have done that trade. Rashawn Holmes in a second-round pick. That's an expiring, basically. Or I actually think Rashawn Holmes is a player option, but I just want a second-round pick for DeLon Wright. So we'll go ahead and do that. So that will be our off-season. I am going to move Poole to point guard as well. is going to go down, but I want him to start at point guard, I guess, for the rest of the season. And we'll run it with that. So, yeah, we'll see how the rest of the season goes. We're going to hang on to Kuzma and Gafford for now, but more than likely looking to move them as soon as we can. But pretty successful trade deadline. Would have loved to have maybe gotten 2 more firsts for Kuzma, but we'll see if we can do that in the offseason. So year number 1 comes to an end, and obviously we are nowhere near being in the playoffs. Not quite yet. Let's take a look at the end of the season stats. You had 20 from Kuzma, 17 from Poole. You had 12 from Bagley, and then 11 from Denny Avdia, and then 11 from Gafford. So let's go ahead and sum of these playoffs, and let's see who wins the championship. So the Knicks with Tyus Jones looks like they captured the first seed, but they do fall short to the Celtics in the Eastern Conference Finals, as the Clippers are going to beat them in 5 games. All right, retirements, we're going to leave those all alone. And now, of course, the first step to this process for us in this rebuild is the draft lottery. We're projected a number 2 overall pick. Obviously, would love nothing more than to cash in on the number 1 overall pick. So let's see if we can get that lucky, and we are going to get number 1. Absolutely beautiful. Great start to this rebuild. Really exactly what we needed. Literally what we needed. So you guys probably already know who I'm taking here. That is going to be Alex Sarr. 100% taking Alex Sarr. We are going to have a big man for the future, which makes Gafford a little bit more expendable, as I mentioned. So I'm feeling really good about that. So let's see if we can still trade Gafford on draft night, because now that we know we're taking Alex Sarr, we could probably move Gafford with confidence. And if someone's willing to give me like a late first, I would move Gafford in a heartbeat. So the Knicks want to give me a 2025. Max Prosper, Darren Sharp, Zeke Naji, and Hunter Tyson. Larry Nance, that trade pops up again. The Rockets want to give me a pick swap. They'll give me Jock Landale. So they get off Landale's contract and they give me the Nets pick, which actually, I wouldn't hate doing that. If the Rockets feel like they're close, they have Şengün, and they could lock in Gafford as their backup 5 for the future, which I think would be really good for them. I think I'm down with this. So we're gonna take on Landale's contract. Obviously, someone who doesn't play a ton for the Rockets, but obviously not putting up great stats either. As you can see, 38% from the field. So Daniel Gafford goes to the Rockets, and we get a first-round pick in 2025, which is next year. We'll go ahead and cash in on that. So Gafford is gone. We got number 1 overall. Kuzma, I'll wait till after the draft. We'll wait on him still. But let's jump in, and like I said, we know who we're taking. That is going to be Alex Sarr to be our backup, or not our backup 5, our starting 5 for the foreseeable future. So Alex Sarr, welcome to the Wizards, my friend. And I'm feeling good about that. Rashawn Holmes accepts. No surprise there. We're going to accept Johnny Davis. We're going to accept Patrick Baldwin. We're going to decline Evan Fournier. Qualifying offers, Jared Butler, Eugene. We're not going to accept any of those or extend the qualifying offer. And then free agency, no important free agents to worry about. And we don't really have money to like spend, which we weren't going to anyway. But Poole right now is our starting point guard. We have Landry Shamet, Johnny Davis. We have Denny Avdia, Bilal Coulibaly, Kyle Kuzma, and then Alex Sarr, Marvin Bagley. So Alex Sarr, Marvin Bagley will be our center rotation next year. Kuzma, like I said, I want to move on from him this offseason if possible. Jordan Poole, I think, is probably stuck here for a while, which I'm totally okay with that. I feel like we could almost turn Jordan Poole around. I saw a tweet, something about how Poole has been misutilized, and I don't know how true that is. Like, I don't know if that is the case. I don't watch Wizards games like that, so if someone agrees to that take, let me know. But other than that, I am still going to try to trade Kuzma here and get 2 firsts if possible for his services. We are once again coming back to the Sacramento Kings. We're going to try to get 2 first-round picks out of them. We do have to take on Harrison Barnes' contract in order to do this trade, but I'm not too upset with it. So we also get Colby Jones as a throw-in. Let's see what they say. They want to do some pick swaps, which I'm obviously not going to do. So there is a chance we're not going to be able to get 2 firsts like I want for Kyle Kuzma. They want Patrick Baldwin. I'm fine with moving Baldwin if I need to, but I'm going to obviously keep as many picks out of this trade as possible. First, that is, anyway. So let's see if this is going to suffice. 2026 unprotected. Once again, I'm not moving more picks than I need to. So we might not be able to do a trade with the Kings like I thought. Maybe we have to move on to a different team. I thought the Kings made a ton of sense, but we're just going to go look somewhere else because the Kings just want too much. I can't do it. I don't know if Kuzma strikes me as a Miami Heat kind of dude, but the Miami Heat do make somewhat sense. They've kind of needed like a natural power forward for a while anyway. Kuzma would definitely fit that bill for them, so I'm going to see if I can do this trade with them. We obviously take Duncan Robinson's contract, but I'm looking for those 2 first-round picks still for Kuzma. They are not interested, but they are somewhat interested. We're going to be close to making a trade here. They want 2 second-round picks. We get Orlando Robinson in the trade as well. That's a done deal. We move Kuzma. So we successfully move Kyle Kuzma now. What we can do with Landry Shamet is move him to point guard, but we've basically done exactly what I wanted to accomplish, which was move Kuzma for 2 firsts, which is what I wanted. So Landry Shamet, Poole, Robinson, Johnny Davis will be our backcourt next year, which is a little disgusting. But then you have Dia below Kalabali, Corey Kispert, Livers, and then Alex Sarr, Bagley. And we have so many centers on some interesting contracts, to say the least. But I do want to have below Kalabali start next year, low-key. So I don't think moving him is going to do that for us. Yeah, he goes down. And then you have Dia. Does he go down? Yeah, okay. We'll just try to see if it makes sense to start. And we might even just start Avdia and Kalabali at the 2 and the 3. I'm probably butchering his last name, by the way, so I apologize. But let's go to player progression, and let's see what it looks like after we have made some moves here. So we have Avdia up to an 80. Below is up to a 79, which is great to see. Poole is down, so I mean, I guess we moved his position. That's maybe why. Robinson is down. Leonard Shaman is down, which is to be expected. So not too shabby. But, of course, Alex Sarr and below is the 2 guys that we're most confident in keeping around for the foreseeable future. So let's go ahead and load a 2025 draft class. And if we're able to, I don't think we're going to be very good next year. We might be slightly improved. I would probably imagine we're in the lottery again, though, to be completely honest with you. Don't think I'll be stopping at the deadline. Power Game lands us 30th overall. So, yeah, they're not too confident in us. But with that being said, here's your starting 5. It'll be Jordan Poole, Johnny Davis, Danny Avdia, Corey Kispert, and Alex Sarr. You got below off the bench, Marvin Bagley, Duncan Robinson, Landry Shamet, and then Rashawn Holmes, Patrick Baldwin. So I'm actually just going to run a 10-man rotation. So we'll do that. And then we're going to have Patrick Baldwin play over Rashawn Holmes. So we'll do that. That'll give us a perfect rotation there. And then I'm actually going to go ahead and start below at the 2. I'm going to start below at the 2 with Jordan Poole, Avdia, Kispert, and Alex Sarr. So we'll see how that goes. We're going to simulate this season. You want to look at shot tendencies as well, because Jordan Poole shot tendencies 89, rightfully so. I'm going to push up below us quite a bit. I do want him to take a bit of a leap forward if possible. So I'm going to see if he can maybe take a jump this year. So we'll push up his shot tendency. Other than that, I will see you guys more than likely at the end of the season. I don't think I'll be stopping at the deadline this time around. So at the end of the season, not a lot went well, of course, but Alex Sarr did get Rookie of the Year, which is really exciting to see. Not too surprised to see that, of course, but I do want to see how Bilal did this year, so let's take a look at that. So with an expanded role, he averaged 15 points per game, or that's Alex Sarr. He averaged 15 still, but yeah, it was pretty efficient at doing it as well, other than from the free throw line. But 40% from the field, 37% from 3. We'll absolutely take that. Love to see it. But let's go ahead and see who wins the championship. We are once again going to be entering the lottery. So let's go ahead and see who wins the championship. We got the Pelicans and the Knicks, and this time the Knicks lose to the Pelicans, so they lose again. They beat Boston in the Eastern Conference Finals this time. Let's go to the lottery, and I'm gonna skip past the lottery. What are we doing? So let's go to the lottery and let's see what we're gonna get. So we got #1 last year. Obviously, if we can get it 2 years in a row, I would be absolutely happy, but I don't know if my luck's that good. So we'll see. We are going to drop to 5. Yeah, of course, it's not that good. So we dropped to 5. We're still going to get a good player out of this draft. The Knicks via Detroit get #1. So that's going to be pretty insane for the Knicks. But I wonder if they're even supposed to have that pick. I don't even know what the protections are. Maybe they do, maybe they don't, but it's fine. So we're going to go ahead and get Brian Keefe back. I'm going to keep him around, although we could have gotten somebody else. But I don't have Brian Keefe ever. Obviously, I don't know if he was on this game ever, but his ratings aren't that bad, which is why we're keeping him. So let's go to the draft, and let's see how the draft order is going to go. So #1, of course, Cooper Flagg's going to New York. So, yeah, that'd be an NBA's paradise for the #1 prospect to go to New York, of course. Neymar goes to the Spurs, and we got Dylan Harper going, who is kind of who I wanted, to be honest with you, drops to the Raptors. That sucks. All right, so you have Ace Bailey, Damian Sarr, Trey Johnson. We do have some forwards already, but I do believe Ace Bailey is the best player available on the board, if I'm not mistaken. I could be totally bugging about that. Damian Sarr as well, Trey Johnson, but I do believe we'll take Ace Bailey. So out of Rutgers, we'll bring him in. I think we had a later pick as well. We have Bay Fall, Dirk Patton, Hugo Gonzalez, Jalil Bethea. I'm gonna go ahead and take Jalil Bethea here, and that will be our draft. So again, wanted to come out. We got a 78 overall, and then who I was going to take, Damon Sarr, was a 75. So it looks like we may have made the better pick, at least overall wise. And then we're going to go ahead and sign a little bit there as well. Robinson, Landry Shamet, Baldwin. We're going to accept Baldwin. We're going to decline the other 2, of course. And then qualifying offers, Orlando Robinson, Corey Kispert. I definitely wouldn't mind bringing back Corey Kispert, but I'm not too concerned with Orlando Robinson. We did extend Marvin Bagley, so I actually kept Marvin Bagley around. But now, right now, Jordan Poole is our point guard, and he seems cooked in 2K. I just don't really ever see him becoming an efficient player again. He just isn't. Although it's not like I guess I mean, his stats look similar to when they were in Golden State, I guess. But we'll keep looking. Johnny Davis, Jalil Bethea would be our 2 right now. I do believe we're still going to try to start Below or Ace Bailey or Denny of Dio. Probably going to start all of them together. Livers and then Bagley and Alex Sarr. So I think we're going to re-sign Corey Kispert, of course. Let's go ahead and do that to start things off here. Although I don't know if we have money for like a point guard going forward. I do see like Markel Fultz, Bones Highland here. I also see Josh Giddey, Cameron Thomas, Isaiah Joe, Jordan Hawkins. I am tempted to throw an offer at Josh Giddey, but obviously the real life things kind of, I don't know. I feel like some people just get mad at weird things. So again, he never got convicted for it. It looks obvious that he did, but I guess I'll stay away from him. Jalen Suggs also doesn't sound too bad. He could be our point guard going forward. We do have to throw him some money to get him to come to this team, but we kind of need a guard for the future. We don't really have that at the moment. Not really too confident in Jordan Poole being that for us. So I think I'm going to go ahead and throw some money at Jalen Suggs and see if we can convince him to come to Washington. We throw him a bag. If you're Washington, you probably have to overpay a restricted free agent. There's Jalen Brunson out here as well. Scotty Barnes, Cade Cunningham, Franz Wagner, Jalen Green is restricted. Josh Giddey is restricted, and Malik Monk unrestricted. All right, so let's see if we can convince Jalen Suggs to sign the dotted line. Do I have to renounce Corey Kispert to do it? No, I can actually keep Corey Kispert, which is nice. So Jalen Suggs so far has not been matched, and Corey Kispert's getting an offer. Is that going to stop me from signing Jalen Suggs? It does not. So we get both of them. So Jalen Suggs, welcome to DC. Feeling good about that addition to the team. So I like that a lot. So Jalen Suggs, I believe it moved to, we're going to move him to point guard for now. 6'5" point guard. I like that a lot. So I'll have Jalen Suggs, Jordan Poole, John Davis, but again, it'll be these 3 starting, and then Kispert, and then Bagley and Sarr. All right, I think we're good. So we got our point guard in Jalen Suggs. Let's go to player progression, and let's see what this is looking like now. So Alex Sarr up to an 84, Suggs up to an 83, Danny Avdia up to an 82, Below is up to an 82. So yeah, really, really solid. Baldwin is up. Really liking what I'm seeing. So, and then of course, Ace Bailey is part of this fold as well, who is very young, rookie coming in. So I'm excited to see what he can do as well. But let's get straight into this next season. Not really banking on this being a playoff season either. This has kind of been a slow approach case, but I'm still confident that will be improved. Will definitely be improved, no doubt. So let's go to 2026, load this draft class, and let's see what the rotation is truly about to look like. Power's gonna land us 26th. We got 3.5 balance, so we do move up a little bit. So it's Jalen Suggs, Johnny Davis, Denny Avdia, Corey Kispert, Alex Sarr, Below, Marvin Bagley, Jordan Poole, Ace Bailey, and Patrick Baldwin. So can I get away with moving Below? He goes down more than I want him to. Avdia would go down to an 80. And then yeah, I think we're gonna move Avdia, man. I do want to start Below. So it'll be Suggs, Avdia, Below, Kispert, Sarr, Bagley, Poole, Johnny Davis, Ace Bailey, and Patrick Baldwin. So that is the rotation we're going to run with. We'll see how this season goes. Proficiency is 3.5. Another thing I want to do now is Jordan Poole, probably not part of the long-term plans anymore. So I'm gonna go ahead and reduce his shots and see a little bit. I do want like Jalen Suggs to step up. We just signed here. Of course, Below is gonna do that for us, and then we'll see how the rest of the season goes. So once again, kind of expecting a lottery type season again, but we should be improved. Maybe we surprise and make the plan, but we'll see what happens. So this season actually went decently well. We were really on the cusp of being a play-in team. We were literally right there. We finished up 1 game back of being a play-in team, but it doesn't hurt to be in the lottery for 1 more year, because I think what we can do, because Jordan Poole's contract becomes an expiring contract this offseason, I think that's going to be very useful. We can use that expiring contract to make a big trade, which is what I plan on doing. We have the assets to do so. I think we're ready to make a move. Similar to how the Cavs did with Donovan Mitchell, that's kind of what I'm looking to do with the Wizards here. So things are about to start turning up here very, very soon. So let's go ahead and see who wins the championship really quickly, if I could speak. Damn. All right, so let's see who wins. We got the Pacers and the Thunder. Interesting. The Pacers, they want to win. So Halliburton gets a championship. Shout out to the Pacers. All right. Let's get to work. So let's go to the lottery. Once again, we're going to get another asset here via our pick. Projected pick 11, but if it jumps up, that helps too. But it's only pick 11. And then we have the 27th pick, so that Tyus Jones trade only gains us the 27th pick. So not the best value in the world. But like I said, one thing we do have in our arsenal is assets. We have some future picks. we can go ahead and try to make a big move this offseason, which is what I plan to do. I don't know what position I'm looking for entirely. I don't really have a set position. As long as we can bring in a guy who's like, I would say like in his prime and is ready to elevate this team, but we're ready to be like a contender next year, I think that's what we're looking for. All right, so I have a couple of guards that I'm looking at. First one is going to be Tyrese Maxey on the 76ers. With whatever they are, they're not good right now. They're selling. They're 33 and 49. Embiid's even untouchable. We could try to get him, but I like what we have in Alex Sarr, obviously, and I think Maxey would make a little bit more sense on our roster. So Maxey is my preferred target. De'Aaron Fox pops up as well. Cade Cunningham's on the Knicks now, which is interesting. And another guy I was kind of looking at was on the Rockets and Jalen Green, who's been pretty good as of late. You got like Booker as well on the Suns, but they're not really willing to sell him. Of course, there's also Anthony Edwards, which they are 37 and 45. Edwards kind of intrigues me as well, which I didn't see that at first when I was looking. But yeah, I'm kind of tempted by Edwards or Maxey. I think those are the two guys I want to look for the most. So let's start with Tyrese Maxey. So let's see if we can get him pried away from the 76ers. So let's start the bidding with Poole's expiring salary, of course, because we're going to put that in here. We just drafted Ace Bailey, but I feel like if we're going to get Maxey, probably have to be in the trade. We'll probably throw Jalil Bethea in there as well. We have this 11th overall pick. I feel like that should be enough for Maxey. They do agree, so we got Tyrese Maxey. Pretty solid package, I believe, for Maxey. And we can move Suggs to the 2 now, and we get rid of Poole as well. So Maxey is our brand new point guard. Delon Wright ended up back here. Interesting. But now we have Deni Avdija, who's going to be this backup 2 guard. And then Johnny Davis. We have below. We have Corey Kispert, Baldwin, and we have Alex Sarr and Bagley. So all looking really solid. We got the guy we wanted. He's also fits exactly the timeline we were looking for. So kind of worked out perfectly. On draft night, we end up with Damian Collins at 27. Player options, we're going to accept both of those, of course. And then Johnny Davis, Patrick Baldwin. 2 guys I do have interest in bringing back. So let's see if we can go ahead and do that. So Johnny Davis, might be, what's he done for us? 10 points. I guess we'll resign him. So we'll bring Johnny Davis back. So resign both of them. Guard depth and power forward depth. So we'll take that. And then we could sign another good point guard if we want to. We could bring Trey Jones in. Had his brother here for a little bit. Can we just move Johnny Davis to the point guard, though, and get away with it? Let's see. And no, he goes down quite a bit. Not what I really wanted to see. All right. I guess we can move Avdija to the backup 3 now then. He would go up, obviously moving him back there. Johnny Davis would be the backup 2 then. So Avdija, Baldwin, Kispert, Alex Sarr, Bagley. Obviously, probably would prefer a better power forward than Kispert as the starter, but I mean, he is a knockdown shooter, so it's not the worst thing in the world. He's like 6'6". So I think we're good, other than signing a point guard, which is still what we need to do. I'm going to sign like McConnell for depth just because you need a point guard, but we're probably just going to run an IM rotation. But I think we've elevated our team to a playoff team, which is ultimately what, of course, we wanted to accomplish. Is this a contender? I don't think so, but it wouldn't surprise me if we low-key were. Suggs, Alex Sarr below us up, and then, of course, Maxey is the one that's going to be leading this franchise to the promised land, hopefully, anyway. So let's get in this next season. Let's see what things are about to look like. I'll load a 2027 draft class in a second. But proficiency is going to be a 4-star balance, which is a great sign. And here is your 9-man rotation. And this is what it looks like. Maxey, Suggs below. Kispert, Sarr, Avdija, Johnny Davis, Marvin Bagley, and Patrick Baldwin. I will see you guys at the end of this season. Hopefully, we are locked and loaded playoff team. We'll load a draft class real quick, but let's get straight to it. So I can confirm this year that we have made the playoffs, which is obviously what we were looking to accomplish this year. Now, do we win a championship? That is obviously another story, but we've at least taken this step into being a playoff team, which is nice. 25 from Maxey, 19 from Sarr, 17 from below, and then 16 from Suggs, 12 from Johnny Davis, 11 from Deni Avdija. So Cleveland in round 1, they have Garland, Mitchell, Christian Brown, JRE. They have Kyrie Irving back in Cleveland. What on earth am I looking at? Why are these teams able to sign? Like, how on earth are they? I guess they replaced Mobley. I still don't know how they are affording all this, but, and Ben Simmons is here. Interesting. All right, well, don't feel too confident about beating the Cavaliers, but we'll see what happens as we are going to go up 3-2 on them, and we're going to a game 7, so we're a little bit in there more than I thought we'd be. They want to start Baldwin. We'll see how that goes for us. Game 7 in Cleveland. If we can come out here and beat the Cavaliers with Kyrie Irving, Mitchell, and Garland, which it's going to be a close one, we are going to do that. So I was about to say, if we could beat them, I feel pretty confident. We took Maxey from the 76ers, so there's no possible way we lose to them, right? They have Ron Holland, of course. Jordan Poole must be having a resurgence season. I don't know, 18 points per game, 38%. So, yeah, he's having a good year. They have Capella as well. Ace Bailey probably becoming very good for them. So, maybe we made Philadelphia stronger. We'll see. We'll see what happens. They have Adrian Griffin, Jalil Bethea. So, hopefully we don't lose to the team that we gave assets to and we do beat them. So, we're in these conference finals. I was not expecting to make this quick of a run, but we get to play Jaden Ivey, Brendan Miller, Miles Bridges, Nikola Vucevic, LaMelo Ball. Pretty solid team in Charlotte. Pretty solid team. So I would not be too surprised if we do get eliminated here. But let's see what happens. As we're up 3-1. Can we beat them in 5? Beat them in 6? Yes, we can. We're in the NBA Finals. Okay. I believe the Thunder are in there, but Jokic won the Finals MVP after losing in 5. Interesting. Of course, OKC. They got Shaedon Sharpe. Are we? And Evan. How on earth are these teams assembling these squads? We're not winning this series. We're not winning this series. What is this team? Even Dyson Daniels, Chet Holmgren, Evan Mobley, Shaedon Sharpe. Like, how on earth? This is the Rising Stars team. Obviously, Shea is not part of that anymore, but that's actually insane. Wow. Yeah, we're done for here. Let's just click some current round. And we actually pushed them to 7. Wow. That was just a absolute master squad. We had no chance. But I will run it back for one more season. One final season. I'm assuming Shaedon Sharpe is not locked up for long term, right? Like, there's no way they have locked Shaedon Sharpe signed for $13 million. Mobley's locked up long term. So Sharpe, they got Cason Wallace, Jalen Williams, J-Dub isn't a free agent. Dyson Daniels, I assume, is a free agent. Yeah, so you got all these guys on these cheap. Let's just run it back one more year. So this season goes really well. Final season here. We're the first seed in the Eastern Conference. 25 from Maxey, 20 from Alex Sarr, and 20 from Belil, and then 14 from Jalen Suggs. So we've done a great job developing Belil throughout the video. And of course, you get to play the 76ers again, who have all the guys we gave them. They re-signed Jordan Poole as well. Obviously, similar to last year, would really suck if we lost to them. And that's possible because they have Embiid. And we beat them in 7. Got really lucky. Thought we were about to lose there, but get Miami. So Rozier, Jimski, Keegan Murray, Bam Adebayo, Jaime Jaquez. They have a pretty solid squad in their own right. Wouldn't be surprised if they eliminated us, but we are going to beat them in 6. Got scared there for a second. Now get Toronto. So I have Harper, who I wanted in that draft, obviously. They have Jalen Duren. There's a lot of good teams we're running into, for sure. This is a good squad in Toronto. They could eliminate us here. Let's see how it goes. And we are going to beat them in 5. So back to the Thunder once again, back to the finals. This time, they don't have Shaedon Sharpe. Of course, they still have Evan Mobley. Evan Mobley and Chet is insane. That's just insane, by the way. Like, that's actually crazy. Koa, Cason Wallace, give it our all. And we are going to lose in 7 again. So, beautiful. Thunder keep beating us, but regardless, we made it to the finals 2 years in a row. Thunder, they got Evan Mobley and Chet. What more do you expect? 2 unicorns on the same team is actually wild. Hope you guys enjoyed the video regardless. I will see y'all in the next video. Hoping we get some trades soon because I'm ready for some more trade rebuilds. But other than that, this is Crushables. I'm saying peace. Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.